My question is like, maybe we already went over, maybe when like just I want to see this, what we covered so far, right? So that's and another thing is designing principles. This I was like some questions on security design principles. That had some questions. So basically, what is recommended? Workday folks came to their premises and they trained these folks and what is all these things. And my question was like, no, there are like some compulsory security, absence security workshop or like security fund. This is the one I shared, right? These are also payroll security workshop, global mobility. Maybe when we get it a little bit time, like maybe I'll just give what exactly compulsory
No,
security.
it's covers with what we have covered actually. Okay, so
Okay.
I told you right. If you wanted to get any kind of security access for any kind of area, so all you need to know is which security that comes under. Okay, so compensation security workshop will talk about all the compensation related domains. Okay, so all the compensation components, whatever we have in Workday, getting access to employee, getting access to compensation team, and getting access to Workday team members, getting access to managers, getting access to business users. So this is something that deals with all the domains and business process. So you first need to know who all need to get access. Based on that, whatever we have covered, the same process will work for
Yeah.
every scenario.
Mhm.
Be it compensation, be it absence, be it time tracking, be it payroll, anything. Okay. So all you need to know is for what you need to get a security access. Okay. You just need to know that information, and based on that, your security configuration will go.
Okay.
Okay. Let's
Okay.
say
Yeah. Please go ahead.
let's say if compensation you wanted to have a kind of access to request a compensation change for an employee. Okay.
I think I'm get confused. Like so many documents I'm receiving, people are
No,
suggesting.
don't refer. That's what I'm saying, right?
Okay.
Don't refer any document. Okay, follow basics. What we are talking about. You yourself will be able to identify what is a security issue. Okay, so once
Mm.
you're not clear on this, if you're not clear on these fundamentals, right? Even if you see any document that is clearly displaying what is a security, you'll not feel comfortable actually. So what I
Yeah.
would suggest is, so if
Okay.
still there is something confusion for you on the fundamentals, let's stop these documents. Probably come from fundamentals. Talk about the basic things that you need to understand, and from there we'll actually refer the requirements what we generally see in the market. Okay. So tell me one thing. You wanted to just go with security only into the
Not
market.
really. Like no, after that, at least like no latest project I might keep, but otherwise I need to modify a little bit. Like maybe we suggest me. I mean, I just started floating this one, right? So maybe I'll change it, add something else also. So this is for high level, right? So I mean, I
So
don't
probably
know.
instead of a security administrator, what you can add is workday specialist. Okay.
Okay.
Just make workday specialist. Yeah, you're actually specifying all other things, right? So if
Yeah.
you're just keeping security administrator, that doesn't make sense. Actually, you're saying that you worked in Prism, you worked in Studio, you worked in
Yes.
advanced data integration, and you're specifying security administrator. That doesn't make sense actually, because security administrator will not be working on all these things.
Okay. Okay.
Have you worked on dashboards also?
While doing Prism, like I mentioned, right? I took training here itself. I have worked on dashboards. Uh,
So you
I
know
have
the configuration of dashboards.
I do remember vaguely,
Hmm.
maybe. So
Okay,
dashboard in the sense like the same similar, right?
that
But
goes
in
with
general,
reporting.
I was working as a data engineer and DevOps engineer, SRE. So there, like we are using OpenTSDB or like other related dashboards. I mean,
Hmm.
to do some
Okay.
not related to, but I'm familiar. The different dashboards I was
Hmm.
working with.
Okay.
Many years. That's where I kept it there. Maybe I need to brush it. Maybe I thought of starting like next this week, next week
Hmm.
onwards, float seriously and for more, focusing more on this.
Okay. So because when you actually keep these things right, if there are any specific needs for them, So they'll be particular about those things actually. Okay.
Mm.
So you have kept studio. Okay, studio. If any customer who is specific on a studio, they might grill you on studio requirements. Or if any panel member who is proficient in studio, they might be grilling you on studio actually.
Okay.
Hmm.
So,
So at least when you keep your pointers in resume, right? You must be
okay.
100% confident and comfortable with every point in a resume.
Okay.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Scroll down to the next page of your resume.
Okay. These are the skills. This is.
So this is completely you've added in terms of security.
Yeah. That's what I started marketing myself
Okay.
to.
So this Apple is currently using Workday as their HR system.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I make sure before changing my resume. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Because if
Yeah.
I'm a hiring manager, I'll just consider these things actually.
Okay.
So I'm not being into interview panel now, but before 1 year, I was previously in making interviews and all. So first, looking at the resume itself, will say that you are genuine or your
Fake. Okay.
fake profile.
Okay. How to distinguish the fake to real? Is there any specific bullet points or?
So few points say that few points itself, will be clear that you are experienced professional or you just added some points. I
Okay.
think your resume is okay, so I don't find anything that is
Suspicious
not
or irritated?
justifying.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, that was the only thing. So you mentioned security administrator, but all your project pointers are talking about integrations, reporting, Prism, all those things, right? That might
Okay.
not get synced because if you're working on core security team, you'll not
Hmm.
be working on all this technical stuff actually. At least they'll not be aware of technical stuff.
Okay. Security guys. Okay. So
Yeah.
how I was exposing, right? So I was mentioning support side, support basically day-to-day issues. So I was able to see mainly
Hmm.
focusing on side. That's what I was mentioning. But on regular basis, I'm overseeing all these issues also. That's what
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
currently.
In that case, probably workday specialist or workday analyst
Okay.
can actually be suitable position, but workday analyst will more focus on functional things actually.
Okay.
So analyst will be working on functional area, but specialist will be working on both technical as well as functional things.
Okay.
Okay,
Senior Workday consultant. Is that okay? Or anything you need to change in this title also?
will be okay.
Okay.
Will be okay. So the second one.
Yeah, this is the second one. This is a startup company basically. I was
Okay.
I'm mentioning we are only three to four people. We need to work every and each other others
Mhm.
module. What I was conveying the message.
So you're not specifying duration for each of this customer.
Yeah, yeah. I'm putting March to 2020.
Mhm.
So I was employee. Actually, there was an employee for this startup company that is closed in 2020. Then I went to Apple, but a different role as a contractor there. Uh, Consulting. This
Okay.
was employee. Yeah. Uh,
Oh, so here you mentioned duration. Okay. So you mentioned even a lot of functional modules also.
okay, but does it make sense or doesn't make sense? So
But
that
if you know
yeah.
the process, I think that should be okay. If you know the performance management process, time tracking process, and all, if you no need of a deeper understanding. But if you know the end-to-end process how that works, you should be able to explain. Okay. So you
Okay.
know the performance management how it works.
Whenever there is a people are asking, I was just going over ChatGPT or taking some help from there and answering. Honestly saying, right? I'm one of my friend will help me displaying those things in ChatGPT. I'm reading if I don't know.
Mhm.
That is happening currently. Not no in person meeting, right? So not that went well so far. Immediately they will cut, right? If you are not you are faking some
Yeah. That's the
Is there
reason why
fun?
you need to be crispy and clear. Actually, it's okay.
Yeah,
You need to present little and talk more. That should be your way of go to market. Actually.
yeah.
Hmm.
Right now, I do not have that kind of mostly I was depending on, ChatGPT so far. That's where the confusion is coming. So even though I know a little bit, I mean, I'm practicing at the same time, because I didn't work these areas at all, right? So I'm losing immediately. Connection is losing in between what I'm talking, what I'm telling. So
So,
we just I'm telling
exactly.
them, the interview basically, so far I had interviews only three, four interviews, but on security side only.
Hmm.
Mainly, as I mentioned, right, whenever there is a white people are interviewing, that should be okay. At least, they are not going deeper because I sense that they are also limited knowledge, not that, great
Hmm.
extent.
Hmm. Hmm.
But whenever like
Hmm.
some Indians are like in the panel, so they will call, they are, they caught me. Couple of interviews happened with the Indians, and I mean, this is then immediately, they are asking which
Hmm.
business process you use and all other things, like, what exactly
Okay.
the.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay.
That is also security related. People are asking like, no, why you created that security? What is this? So that questions I mentioned, right? I showed, right? Some of the questions
Hmm.
by them only.
Okay. I think
One
resume
guy.
is okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Resume is okay. All I wanted to know is you need to be confident on each point of resume. That's the only thing that you need to be clear. Okay.
Okay. So Workday SIM specialist. That's the NVIDIA. Hmm. This is
Hmm.
also work as a contractor. That's where I'm getting traction my resume because of these companies only. Because NVIDIA, Oracle, and and
Okay.
Apple.